it wasn't easy, but ultimately they got their diploma. These are your graduates from different PTOT schools in the Philippines sharing their experiences, journey, as well as their tips and tricks to help you decide and get through with your college degree. This is the Grand Revalida, PTOT schools in the Philippines, hosted by yours truly, AJ Aday. Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of the Grand Revalida. This is more of a pilot episode just to get things going, but rest assured, as I do this, I'll try to improve on the audio and the quality of interview that I'm be doing, and also look out for other graduates of different PT schools because I just might be messaging you. Besides that, our next guest is from my alma mater. He's been a good friend of mine. We talked about some things about extracurricular activities that's happening in the university, changes in the college, and as well as being in the real world and applying everything you know. So enjoy the first episode, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. The next guest is a close friend of mine. We went to the same PT schools, and I just gotta say, we first year, man, we became really good friends, and up to now, being professionals. I guess I'll just leave the mic for him and introduce himself to you guys.
Right. So, hey guys, my name's Murillo, and I'm a graduate of Salle Medical and Health Sciences Institute. I'm from batch 2018, where my good friend AJ is from as well. And I'm a licensed physical therapist, so PTRP. There you go.
The goals, man, the goals.
That's the goal, man. I mean, for any college student who's a PT or an OT, that's the goal.
Why PT? Why'd you choose it?
All right, so physical therapy. Actually, back in fourth year high school, when we are still preparing for our college application, right? We always had this dilemma: where am I going? What field do I want to go to? Actually, I think a lot of PTs could relate to this one. Of course, we all wanted to go to med. At first, right?
That's a common people I interviewed. It's a pre-med.
Exactly. So, I would ask for it. I would ask relatives. Even my parents would tell me, "Oh, you wanted to go to med? Well, you're the good pre-med course that you could go to." Well, the top pick was PT. So I'm like, honestly, I didn't know anything about PT. It was kind of skeptical of me at first, but luckily, I took the risk, and there you have it. I went to PT, but choosing that to med school changed over time, TBH.
With that, with your selection of schools, why did you end up going to Salle?
Well, yeah, I graduated from the Salle Medical and Health Sciences Institute. Well, it all goes back to my alma mater in grade school, high school. I graduated from the Dasmarinas actually, so you can see the trend or the pattern. I've been in LaSalle my whole life, basically. But other than that, it's more of the familiarity. LaSalle has been known for its education as well, and the standings in medical field. So they're no stranger to the medical field. I think the familiarity is what I opted to. That's why I studied in DLSMHSI.
All right. Can you share with us that you think that's only specific to LaSalle PTs that other PT school doesn't have? I mean, if there is such any, and also the facilities that the university offers or the institute?
With regard to the school-specific grade, of course, each school has their unique characteristics, right?
Yes.
But I would probably flex my school in terms of its environment. I think all DLSMHSI students could relate to it, and how the school is very conducive in terms of because of probably more trees in the school and vast space wherein anyone could study or possibly just walk around. It's like walking in the park basically. So the conduciveness of the environment is a huge plus for the school, and I think it's what enticed me as well into studying there. So as to the facilities, in each school they have the basic necessities. The Salle has provided that as well. In my college, in our college basically, all the materials or the technological advancement have been provided first, and so honestly I couldn't complain because everything was there.
Yeah, you get your monies, you get what you pay for, right?
It was. You and I know. We have to get what we pay for, right? We would end up complaining the whole time.
We would, yes.
Probably talk about
good
stuff here.
Yeah. I guess with previous people that I have talked to, can you enumerate the facilities that is available for the student that the student can access in the university?
Well, first off, I think this is what HSI is also bragging about it. The school library that they have, they call it Dr. Romeo Ariniego Library.
Yes.
So that library is a 3 or 4 floor, fully air-conditioned library wherein it's running from like 7 or 8 a.m. up to 10 p.m. So you can see that after school hours, students can still go there and study. Basically, it's occupied by med students, but undergrads can still go there and study, which I used, especially during board exams and the review days. So it's a very conducive environment, as I was talking about earlier, and it's a great way for you to study PH because that's what we need. That's the stress that we have. We have to study more often, right?
Yes.
And being a health professional, studying is probably a priority over eating. Or probably the same.
Or probably the same at the same time. Probably at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. So other than the life, more of the gym that we have, we call it Animo Center. That's where the major events go. And the graduation, the samples, the general assembly, anything important, any big gathering that involves the whole student body. And what else do we have there? Cafeteria. Everything's there actually.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to go outside.
I mean, it would. Although it wouldn't be a long walk either. I mean, it's a small campus, but everything's there.
I would say it's a small campus, but walking pretty tiring.
Yeah.
But either way, it's because of the trees and the conducive environment. You wouldn't bother walking.
Sir, can I ask you, are you LaSalle Dasma or no?
No, that's a different campus actually. The LaSalle University Dasmarinas is different from the LaSalle Medical and Health Sciences Institute. Although they're the same, avenue or like street, if you would want to call it.
Yeah.
And they have the same brother president. However, they're two different campuses. So the LaSalle Medical Health Sciences Institute only caters the medical courses of LaSalle. Meanwhile, in the LaSalle University Dasmarinas, that's like another LaSalle University campus wherein it has the business courses, the engineering courses, art courses, and etc. Anything other than medical courses.
So it's a bit safe to say that DLSMHSI is the medical campus of LaSalle.
Yeah, I mean, in layman's term, you could call it the Salle Med.
Yeah.
It's the common confusion of someone who doesn't know the school yet.
Yes. That's why I had to put it on record. For future students that's applying or gonna be applying for within the institute and within the college. It's to save yourself from embarrassment or confusion of going to DLSUD and going to MHSI.
Yeah, that's right. I think you and I encountered it back in college, like how people would ask, "Oh, where do you study?" "Oh, I study in DLSHSI." Then we ask you, "Saan yun? Where is that?" So it'd be like,
in Dasma.
And blah, 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 blah. We just end up saying it's in the Salle Dasma.
Yeah.
But then we're trying to break the stigma, right?
Yes. That was the point of my question.
So the more you know, guys, the more you know.
I guess other schools has the same thing for FEU, for UERM, right? It's not UE, but it's the RM and FEU. It's not like
the medical side of UE.
Exactly.
Although it's University of the East, but because they have different sector of it or a campus.
Yeah, actually, I've gone to telling my family or friends that we share the same name, but we don't operate in just one whole thing.
Yeah.
Each university has their own thing going on, and we have LaSalle, pero it's the whoever organizes it or the brother president that we call it different for each campus.
Yeah, that's right. That's a different
Moving on, sir. Can you tell us any extracurricular activities that is available to the students, such as orgs or clubs, stuff like that?
I would probably say a lot because this is the fun part. You and I could relate to this one.
Man.
All right, so extracurricular activities. Oh my goodness. Back in probably first year college, in my college of rehab, in our college of rehabilitation sciences, we have this, different orgs or clubs as we call it. So we've got the music club, dance club, the PT clubs and all, or orgs. I was part of what we call the band, or it's called Labyrinth. So in every year, there's the biggest, or probably the main event of the school body. It's what we call the Sallian Days. You pretty much know it, AJ. So the Sallian Days, it has activities like sports fest, Battle of the Bands, as I was saying, Battle of Dance Groups, the awarding, and the much awaited pageantry. Mr. and Miss HSI.
Mr. HSI.
Apart from that, so that's and when I was in first year, that's when I joined the Battle of the Bands, and fortunately we won, so I'm pretty happy about it. It's very exciting. Now, fun fact, guys. Yeah, boy. Joined the pageant back in third year college, around 2015, 2016. I joined the Mr. and Miss HSI, and guess who won?
Hey, that's your trivia for your interns, right?
Oh my goodness! I encounter my interns. They'd be asking, "Sir, aren't you the one who?" Yes, I know, guys. Please don't mention it. Yeah, let it be a fun fact. But back in college, that was my, what do you call it, heyday.
That was our thing. That was our pride.
Yeah, that was very pivotal to me because it was college pride. Yes, we were battling out against different colleges. So to be able to hold that means a lot for me in my college, for our college, basically.
And right after that, we still hold the position, right? The spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
consistently.
Yeah.
And yeah, so when we were after I joined the whole thing, the pageantry, the battle of the bands, I got the hang of the whole front stuff. I wanted to join the backside or the backstage people, or what we call the production. That's where I got the idea of being part of the whole organization thing.
Yes.
And that's where I joined the student council, wherein
you're the advocacy, right? You're some.
Yep,
you're the purpose. You're the me. I would say the muse.
Me and AJ. We're partners in crime.
Oh yeah. For people that's just listening, I don't think the batches now that went through it, but there was a thing called Dindo Pondido that was given for the first year. Well, before us, it was given to the first year and second years, but it was given to the first years, on which it's a batch. It wasn't a batch effort to begin with, but it was more of a section, and that's where you have to create a play of some Firefly. And then, but the long story short, that's how Ralph and I really got close. In terms of working together on technicalities, production, to the point that we brought it to student council, and he's being one of my officers.
Yeah, dude. I remember. Yeah, basically, Dindo Bandido was all about showcasing awareness into persons with disability, right?
Yes.
So, in producing that one, we have to have the technicality in the backstage stuff, and that's where me and AJ worked together, and I think that's how we became best friends.
Yeah.
We were fixing it. We were trying to make everything work at around 3 a.m.
Just
So,
to,
it was a fun experience and memorable, I would.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yep,
it wasn't that, I probably won't even be talking to you right now.
that's right. And I think we wouldn't know what our future would hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's where I got appointed to. I also went to the student council and pretty much producing the events, making sure everything's organized, and yeah, more than the title of being part of the student council, it's the idea of organizing the whole activity, and it's nice to see that everything's going in order.
Yes,
So
sir.
that attitude or that bond with especially you, AJ, like probably strengthened and possibly challenged, right?
Yeah, there is some tough times,
Yeah,
but
we had our ups and downs
Yeah.
with the whole college life, but here we are now.
we're still good. Yeah. You just rub it off and you move on with life. With that, I'd say, what's your overall experience with school and the college, generally, during your stay?
I would say it's it's memorable in a sense that that's where I probably matured as an individual and as a health professional, because basically
Sorry
Lasal
for that.
led me to who I am today. So
Yeah.
I would always be thankful, and especially to my college, because that's who I deal with from day to day. My professors and my colleagues, my classmates. So we got through it all, and we sort of encountered the ups and downs, as I was saying.
Yeah.
The value of learning and the experiences possibly gave me a memorable with something I would say one person. Yeah. One part of the
Uh,
or something.
I just would
Yeah.
like to ask you, um, can you give us the whole process in terms of getting into, well, in our time it was called HSI,
Mhm.
now it's MHSI, but the whole process of enrolling and getting your going to the college, was it difficult? Any tips, tricks that you did, or any that you could share with us?
Mm, I think it's the same process as different college application would go
Uh-huh.
because each school has their own process, right?
Yes.
So you got to prepare your usuals, certificate, etc. And for Manila students, I mean Manila residents like me, I came from Metro Manila. I live in Makati. Considering I would transfer to Dasma, it's uh, it's not easy for me to go back and forth, right? So
Yes.
I'd have to call them before going there to make sure I would prepare everything. So tips I would say for incoming students is to just prepare yourselves for any requirements that they would ask you to do. And as for the college entrance exam,
Uh-huh.
it's the same college entrance exam as other college would
Yeah.
offer it. So
For all the undergrads.
no one can tell you what to prepare, right?
Yes.
Because anything can come out. So it's more of just basic knowledge and your possibly will to get into that school. Because you'll also be interviewed, by the way. That's part of their screening process. So the interview will possibly explain your intentions in going to the school. So yeah, that's my tip.
Moving on to college experience, as to your overall college experience, can
Uh-huh.
you tell us, for people that's listening, is the college easily approachable, difficult to approach? Are problems that you may have easily resolved, or what?
Well,
I mean, just to be transparent, even though I know the process, it's still different from the outsiders. So,
yeah.
for the sake of being transparent.
Each college, each batch has their own, differences. So it's pretty hard for me to generalize the
Uh-huh.
whole system or the whole process. But in terms of my time, I would say that each batch, we're like, we would say that we were a test batch, right? In terms of the teaching, the learning style,
Yeah.
the materials that were given. So I would say it was challenging in
Uh-huh.
a sense that some problems weren't addressed the same way some problems were fixed after we finished the whole process.
Yes.
So I would say trust the process. So anything that you encounter in college is a learning process, as I keep saying. So I think you just have to go through it all.
You just have to see it for yourself.
Yeah, there's a system that we go through in terms of raising our concerns, in terms of the college, up to
Dean.
from the student body to the college to the institution.
Uh-huh.
Thank God I never encountered any problems for me. Specifically.
Moving on into being specific, how would you rate your experience with the classrooms, in terms of what is provided in the classrooms, physically, and also the professors that are teaching us?
In terms of the classroom setting, I think I'd give it an 8 over 10. 8.5. Mostly because we are divided by sections, right?
Yes.
So in these sections, it's a more, what do you call this, specific learning, and of course the lesser ratio would mean more time for learning and more key points to understand. So that kind of helped me in my college years in learning, that we were divided in sections so that we could focus more on the topics. And I would say why I would give it an 8.5, possibly it's the batch lectures that we were encountering. Yeah, it was a challenge, at the same time a learning process.
It was a batch effort
Yeah, it was a batch effort.
to get the rooms. I mean, there you still have the custodians, our kuyas that we call. But then, if you really want to get through it, you're gonna want to go home early. The batch has to move. I mean, you guys have to move the chairs. You have to help this and that.
In terms of the blockings of the chairs, we had to adjust at some point because that we have to make do with what we have, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that's the con of the classroom setting. Possibly the batch lecture wherein we're kind of squeezed up in a room.
Yep.
And many things to consider. As the aircon, the seats, if they're comfortable enough for us to study. I would say I wasn't comfortable because I was big enough for the chair.
Oh, I guess for the record, I mean, you could agree or disagree. After our time, or during the time that our batch was going through the board review, the lecture hall got renovated. In a way, they modernized it, or in a way to make it more accommodating for us.
Yeah, see what I mean when we were the test batch.
Yeah.
Every batch is a test batch because the college always wants to improve year by year.
Yes.
So possibly our concerns weren't fixed at that time being, but it's more of a paid forward. The next batch.
Yeah.
Better. So yeah, let's give it to the college because they can't just fix it. They can't just fix it in one time, right?
Yeah. I mean, for the record again, I was able to utilize it more than you guys did during my board review. And there's the usual technicalities. If Kuya wasn't there to fix the mic, it was just whoever knows helps out the lecturer to do the mic and fixing it, just to get on with it. But I mean, whoever is gonna enroll and see it for themselves, it was different onto what we have encountered.
Yeah,
it got better in a way.
I would say it's better now.
Yeah.
Than it was before. So
looking forward to it.
You guys have it easier or better once you get there.
Next up, what can you say about the professors? The experience, overall experience with your professors that you have encountered.
Yeah, I would call them mentors because they are the professionals and they are the ones who will teach you what the real world is. So they're like, they're nurturers basically. So I'd always pay their respect, give them props. There will be some lapses as to possibly this professor is better than this one, has better character. But honestly, everyone has a goal of making you learn. So I think it's good that the professors that we have right now is also a graduate of the same school, because that's a great way of that professor to adjust to the student.
Yeah.
Because same school has same experiences, right?
Yes.
So they would know what the students need and what they learn best. And of course, they could tell you a thing or two about the real world. So
Yeah.
I would say the professors in HSI are good are very helpful.
Um, can you share with us your internship experience as for the distribution or the decking of for the affiliated clinics, hospitals that you were in? Were there any biases or that inconsistencies that you'd experience, and also what you have learned with it, and the key takeaways that you had, but not really. I guess what I'm trying to do with like internship, it's whoever's gonna go through internship, it's like a surprise, and that surprise is really good in a way.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
I guess tell us, but not telling us too much of the experience.
Well, for me, internship, back when I was an intern, I think, okay, I would give it out for myself. So that internship made me decide that I want to be a physical therapist for my whole life.
Uh huh.
Because that's where the clinical practice goes. Because, of course, when you're studying college, that's the foundations, right? Theoretical.
Yes.
The applications or the clinical concept will be in internship. So there's the reason why I didn't want to go to med anymore. Because internship got me. I would say in terms of the rotations, this is one of the things I would be thankful for in Salle, because the affiliations or the schools that were given to us were, I would say, were the biggest, I guess. One of the biggest PT clinics, hospitals, rehab centers. So I'm very thankful because those centers have these specific patients that I have never encountered before, and it's a very good learning process for me.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of distribution of the rotation, case to case basis, it's a batch thing. So I will never be. I'm kind of thankful that it was given randomly so that the element of surprise goes there.
Yeah.
Because if you choose your rotation, you wouldn't know the good thing or the bad thing in another setting, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're placed in a bad rotation, or possibly you would say that you didn't like that rotation, you would say that at least I learned something. At least I know now that this is not going to work for me. At least I know what's going to be best. At least I know my weakness, because that's where you're going to learn in internship. You'll know your weakness, you'll know your strength, you'll know your field.
Yes.
So in terms of the rotations, I think for me it was well distributed, and I think it honed me, and it made me realize what I really wanted to do and what fields I wanted to go in. So internship is possibly the pivotal. Yeah, it's pivotal for me in my profession as a PT.
With that, how would you rate, or summarize the overall learnings and knowledge you have uh, gathered throughout your college first year to fourth year internship, going into your board exams, and into what you are now as a clinician? Was it adequate, or were there things that were lacking?
Coming from as a college student, going to the real world as we were speaking, I would say that the foundation still matter. Like your first year to fourth year PT school will always be the ones that you will cling on to, because internship, that's a different process. You're more of a clinical. The first year to fourth year is the theoretical. When you go to the board exams, you're back with the theoretical stuff. Well, you'll have the clinical practice, but it's an exam. you'll still have to study for it, right?
Yeah.
Like student. So coming into the real world, I would say, that's where the tricky part comes in, because you're dealing with patients. If you're not dealing with patients, you're probably in the academe. You still have to learn. You still have to go through the process of knowing the 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 science behind everything. Because of course you're handling patients. You can't go treating someone you don't know or you don't know the case of. At the same time, you don't want to teach students that you don't know. Right? So it all leads to going back to your foundations, that you still have to learn it. And honestly, if not all, I would say that your study, the books, honestly, until now, as a clinician, I still go back to my books, like the foundation books. That's what we call it, the therapeutic exercise book. I still go back to that because that's the foundation and the clinical concept and the protocols that you would follow. So everything that you learn in PT will always be applied in the real world or in the board exam. So my advice for first year students or incoming PT is that just learn everything you can learn. Honestly, take it in. May it be important or not, because you'll never know when you'll need it, actually. Possibly that's one of my regrets, I guess. I just studied the important part. Now,
you need
I would
the
have
basics.
to go back and I can't remember this one, so I'd have to read it again. Yeah, but who's perfect, right? So, yeah.
I guess moving on, the ultimate questions that I always ask people that I interview or come across with. In your own words, what is PT?
The PT in your own words. I guess I'd say it for the OTs as well, PT OTs. I would say we're like the unsung heroes for persons with disabilities. Honestly, because, we help them. We always say that we always help them go back to their activities of daily living, of their basic function. We're more than, massage therapists, as the stigma tells us. And as to the ones taking care of persons with disabilities, we just help them get back to their normal state. And yeah, not all heroes wear capes. Some of them make you exercise.
That's funny.
So we're the unsung heroes of persons with disabilities.
I guess the last part of this interview, do you have any closing remarks for anyone that's thinking of enrolling, and as well as, for anyone that's currently, I guess, in our university that's thinking of quitting or whatever, any motivational words that you have for them?
What do you call it?
I mean, let's break it down. I mean, your words for for anyone that's thinking of going to MHSI for PT.
The hard truth about it in PT is that it's very underrated. You may not have the best credit as other professions would give credit to.
Yeah.
But the results are rewarding, to be honest. The patients that you help, or the people that you help, that's the reward itself. So it's an underrated profession, actually. That's why I chose to be a physical therapist, because I like to be as I said, I want to be the front, I want to be the back people. So I wanted to help those who are in the lowest of their time. So it is a very hard course in terms of, we're underrated and we're less known, but the results are rewarding. So you guys just have to find the most, or find fun out of what you have. And never give up, guys. With all the process, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel if you feel that way. So yeah, that's it.
Wow. I mean, it was lengthy. I try not to be biased with this. Um, Thank you so much, bro. Like I
Yeah, you're
said,
welcome, man.
we were good friends since the beginning, and I
Yes,
couldn't
my
think of
pleasure.
anyone to ask to be part of this than you. Uh,
We
I
always help our profession, right?
Yeah. I guess I'll end it. But lastly, do you have anything that you want people to follow on you? Any social media that you're I mean, or baka nagti-TikTok ka na?
Well, with this, in lieu of the COVID, thank God I'm not doing TikTok. But I guess my personal social media, I guess you'll just post it na lang, AJ.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, for anyone that would like to ask you for more questions or how to be Mr. HSI, right? Or for any future free points for their merits for your interns.
So much for fun fact.
All right, man. Stay on the line. I'll just pause the recording
Yeah,
and I'll
sure.
get back to you. Hey guys, this concludes our first ever episode. Thank you for listening up to this point. And for any graduates out there from PTOT schools and wants to be part of the program, please message me. I'll be glad to have you. And if you're listening via YouTube, please like and subscribe so you could get more episodes coming down. And Spotify, please follow that. And thank you again. This is just a brainchild of my boredom during the quarantine and just doing something positive with it. So I'll see you guys. Stay safe, stay at home.